I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
Welcome back to the Quarter Mile Podcast. We are so glad you guys have made it to another episode to join us for another movie review. We have a fun and weird and dumb movie for you. This is unlike any other episode we have done. I'm Drew Davis. I'm joined with my co-host as usual, CJ Walton.
What's going on?
One of my favorite things about relocating to Nashville is now every week I can bring on my friends and just whoever I want. This is the Drew Davis and Friends podcast, and I just get to pick whoever wants to come talk to movies with us. And I'm very excited to have a friend with me and CJ. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to introduce you to Joe Collins, comedian, talent extraordinaire, political genius, literally just the smartest person you'll ever meet. I don't even watch the news anymore. I just go and listen to Joe Collins stand up, and that's all I need, honestly. It's enough, really. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Collins, and we're going to give you the floor, Joe, to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, I'm excited to be here. I love movies, and you can find me listening to podcasts on 2 times speed, like all day long, so this combines all of my interests, and I do comedy, I do a little bit of poetry, a little bit of burlesque, a little this, a little that, so.
She is a multi-tiered talent.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, and you're a fun person, and you're very supportive to the podcast. So thank you for that. So.
I love it. Anytime it comes up on my TikTok, I'm like, well, here I am. I'm gonna learn a little bit about these movies.
So speaking of these movies, she's probably referencing our earlier season. So we always have to ask each of our guests this: what is your relationship, Joe, with the Fast and Furious?
So I saw the first Fast and Furious movie in the theaters, and it was one of those, like when you're in high school and you go with like a big group of people, you're like 20 people deep in the movie theaters, and then you kind of like maybe are talking through it. And then I think, it's been such a huge part of culture that, you reference it, anytime I would get into any minor car, whoopsie daisies, I would be like, I Tokyo drifted into that car. I'm so sorry. But otherwise I feel like I was reunited with it through your podcast.
I love it. Reuniting people to Fast and Furious, one quarter mile at a time.
Reunited and it feels so good.
That was beautiful.
You're welcome. Of course.
For a horse, you sounded fantastic. That was great. So that's such a dumb joke. Anyway, so listen, we love having you on this podcast, both of you, I guess, and we love having you listen to us on this podcast. If I could make any suggestion, is that you check us out on all of the social medias at the Quarter Mile Podcast. We're everywhere. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on all the different podcast streaming things. Every time we're about to review a movie, we ask for you to share your opinions. That's part of our Fast Fan feedback section, which you'll hear about for Superfast, which, by the way, is the movie we're reviewing today. I don't know if I said that earlier, but that's the movie we're on. But what we're doing before we get into the movie is something a little bit different. If you remember a couple weeks ago when we reviewed Better Luck Tomorrow, our quarter mile spotlight was the tip jar, and Sarah, our friend Sarah, who when we asked the question,
shout out to the tip jar.
Yeah, love it. You guys she always has all the cool stuff going on.
You always
I always find stuff on there to do. Check that tip jar.
Yeah, it's great.
We're just saying that.
But when we asked Sarah what her opinion or relationship was with Fast and Furious, she said that she had a bad first date experience, and then both me and CJ were like, well, we need to know more. We have to. So I actually, after we edited that episode, I went back and I sent Tip Jar dashed Sarah a message, and I said, hey, can we get some more information on this date? And she actually gave us a video update of how that date went when she went to go see Tokyo Drift. So we're so excited to share it with you guys. Yeah. So check it out or listen to it if you're listening to us.
The worst date I've ever been on involved Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift. I was 21 and had just moved to Rhode Island for grad school and didn't know anybody and watched You've Got Mail and Must Love Dogs, and I thought, well, I guess I've got to try online dating. But this was before it was socially acceptable, so I was literally on Yahoo Personals. I met this guy, and he lived in Connecticut and was going to drive up to meet me, which was about 2 hours away. And I said, okay, I'm 21. Like, so many things in this story should not have happened, but they did because I was young and stupid. So he drives up, and we meet at this church that I've just started going to, this very traditional Baptist church. This is my second week there. And this man comes in, head to toe denim, ponytail down his back, reeking of cigarette smoke. And I'm not saying this as a judgment, but I was concerned that people would judge me by association this second week at this traditional Baptist church. So anyway, we get through church and we go to lunch, and he starts telling me about his kids, and they were teenagers and I was 21. I was real confused. I don't remember what age was on his profile, but it was not old enough to have children that were closer to me than his age. Also, the ponytail was definitely not in his profile picture. So we keep talking, and he starts telling me about things he did like in 1989. And I was like, well, I was 4 then. So I'm not interested, freaked out, but I'm also 21 and have no good boundaries. So he says, well, do you want to go see a movie? The mall's right there. And I said, sure. And he said, well, it doesn't start for another hour or so, so why don't we walk around the mall before it starts? And he said, oh, there's a jewelry store over there. We can go in and see what kind of ring you would like. So we went to this jewelry store. He picks out this little yellow gold band with a tiny little solitaire on it. And I was like, no. So I go over to the platinum case with like this honking big jewel and baguettes all around it and all this stuff. He's like, oh, interesting. Then we go see the movie. I honestly don't remember much about the movie. I just remember being trapped with this man because I had no boundaries. So anyway, that was a one and done. He wanted to see me again, and I made up some excuse. He had a lot of horses, and I said I was allergic to horses, which is true. Probably not a deal breaker for the relationship, but that was the excuse I used because I also didn't know how to say no politely but firmly. So that's my Fast and the Furious story.
Wow, that is a first date.
She's going. That's a. Is that a first date?
It was a first date / courtship / she might have gotten married after. I mean, there was
That's
a lot
what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, like, on a first date, though?
Yeah, I wonder where that man is now, because ponytail and denim, that sounds like my type.
Right.
You think he's somewhere trying to do the pop the balloon?
Right.
Maybe
Maybe he's on pop the balloon.
Maybe he's watching right
Maybe.
now.
So here's my question. If you are watching, what made you think she wanted to marry you?
Yeah.
Like, off real.
But you know what? I respect the game. As I take her to Tokyo Drift and then get married.
No, absolutely not. Wow, what was she gonna do? Like, was she gonna do the heist with him?
Yeah, I mean that's it. If a woman says yes to that, you know she's the one.
You know, I think she said that he had horses, right?
Yes, that's right.
I feel like he could make a parody movie of Fast and Furious with horses.
I would love that.
That would be
Ponytail down guy. If you're listening, 1, Joe is single and looking. 2,
but I want you to understand, girl. We listen and we don't judge.
I judge,
but others. I judge.
Yeah. I appreciate that's a trend and people are doing better.
I don't know why they're doing that. Because I judge.
Yeah, we're judging. We're not judging you, but
no, we're not judging you. I'm judging him. Why does he smell like cigarettes already? Like, what is that? Like, how you gonna reek of cigarettes?
Mm-hmm.
You
I
know,
don't like any man who does it.
of the creepy things he did on that date.
That's what bothered me.
That I was gonna say I would have put that at like bottom tier,
No,
but all right,
no.
proposal totally fine.
No,
So-
if you want to marry me, that's just normal.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Well,
I'm joking. I'm joking.
Sarah, thank you for that video. Creepy men first dates aside, let's get into Superfast. How about that? Did you either of you see this movie before this viewing? Was this the first for anyone?
This
This
was
is the first. And I unironically had a good time.
Good. This what a dumb movie. Like
it
what
was such a dumb movie.
it was and here's the thing. I have a hard time watching these dumb movies by myself.
Why?
I don't know. I love they're like group team movies. Like I
Yeah.
like watching them with buddies and laughing at them. But I feel like when you're watching like a parody movie or a comedy by yourself, there's always in the back of my head someone's gonna walk in like, "What are you watching?" And you're like, "I don't even know how to start explaining this." Like
Yeah, I thought that too. That this is like a good like date or group movie, so you can like tee while you're watching
Right.
it.
Take them to see Superfast and then propose to them and then take them to shopping.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay with watching it by myself because I'm a weirdo. So if you walk in on me, I'm literally gonna be like, this funny movie.
Right.
This. Sit down and watch it with me if you want.
Do you all when you're watching a comedy by yourself, do you laugh to yourself out loud?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't. I think, wow, that was funny. But I don't know. Anyway.
He said, "Wow, that was funny."
I do, but just by myself. Now, with other people, I feel like it's part of the experience if we're laughing together. Anyway, weird quirks when Drew watches movies aside.
I love that.
So this movie came out in 2015, and if you all were to guess the budget for this movie, what would you? And I want you to take your first number and go ahead and raise it a little bit. That's my hint.
Okay, you go first.
$1 million.
All right, I feel like the Dr. Evil should have.
$1 million.
I was gonna say you said raise it $6 million.
Okay, great. Well, this had a $20 million budget. This movie had a $20 million budget. Now,
I can see that now that you're saying it. They committed to the bit hard, and they needed a lot of props. I feel like.
okay,
Yeah.
that because my next question was like, where did the money go to? Because they even made a joke at the end of the movie, like, "Oh man, this is going on. Our budget's running out, or whatever."
He did say
Yeah.
that at the end of the movie.
Yeah, but
That baby oil.
The cars.
about all that, that's all the baby.
I feel like the cars are probably the most expensive part of right.
Yeah, I would think so. Because they didn't have like a lot of like actual like in I would imagine in Fast and Furious like the blowing up and stuff would be, but in this movie it was like maybe the actors just got paid really well. That's what I
I
hope.
hope so.
I don't know. Was it 20 million?
20 million. I heard that on a podcast and I fact checked it twice because I did not believe it. So it was directed and written by Jason Friedberg and Aaron Seltzer, and they're known for their parody movies, Vampire Sucks, epic movies, superhero movies. This was one of the last ones, and it was apparently good, quote unquote, good enough to make them stop making these movies. So it did not do well in the box office, and when you look at reviews, people do not tend to enjoy it. I think it was fun, but I also have no problem saying not a good movie.
You know what I appreciated about it was I feel like it was really like dense in terms of jokes and like references.
Yeah.
Like it was like quick.
Yeah,
like
it's true.
And even 10 years later, I feel like the pop culture references that they had, like I could still relate to them even though I wasn't like a Fast and Furious like aficionado.
Right,
You know?
yeah. I did like, I mean, it was fun. So the cast had a bunch of people I'd never heard of. Alex Ashboth, Dale Povinsky, Lily Marijinik, I'm sure that's exactly how you say her last name, and Andrea Naveo. I actually feel confident about her name. That was the only one I said there with confidence. And what was interesting about that's just the top four, the main four casts, but even their names, like the character names, were a play off of Fast and Furious jokes.
Oh, yeah.
So like Lucas White, the main, the white guy, the Paul Walker-esque character, he was named after Lucas Black from Tokyo Drift. Don Stretto, obviously, instead of Don. Was it Don Stretto? It was Don
Don Stretto,
Yeah, So Don, instead of Dominic Toretto, and then Jordan, she was just named Jordana, which Jordana Brewster was Mia in Fast and Furious, and then we just had Michelle, and Michelle Rodriguez, of course, is then it was funny to me. Then they stopped naming their characters. They had cool Asian guy. They had
that was my favorite.
And so that was
black rapper guy.
Right, absolutely. So they had it. I don't feel like it had a lot of huge stars, but I felt like everyone there had a fun time, or they did good.
I honestly would have enjoyed being in that movie.
Right?
Yeah. I was wondering. I feel like the audition reel was probably fun for that. And I liked the blooper reel at the end. I feel like they're having a big old time.
They're having a good time. And it should be noted that, and I forgot his name, but the guy who plays Caesar, who was like the henchman to the main villain, he was actually in Fast and Furious 5. He was the henchman to the main villain in Fast and Furious 5. And I kept waiting for a reference to that, and it never...
Who was the Rock counterpart?
Who was the actor, or also?
Do we know him?
I don't. We could look him up. My phone's recording us right now, so I can't. But but he did. I felt like he did great. I felt like he nailed the Rock part so well.
I so enjoyed him.
So.
Do we think Michelle Rodriguez liked her port? Because that character was supposed to be her, right? Do you think she got any kind of sign off on it?
Michelle Rodriguez was pretty openly bisexual, so I don't know. I didn't ever hear about any kind of like pushback that she had from it. But I also, that to me was the lamest joke. It was maybe funny the first time, and maybe at the end when she was going to an all women's prison. But that was all her character was doing, was making I'm a closeted lesbian joke. And it was maybe funny the first time for me. And even that, but here's the thing, it'd be interesting, this was in 2015, it'd be interesting if I would have thought it was more funny in 2015 when I was honestly less developed as a person. But also back then we would have probably been laughing at stuff like that more. Although the hot cop that she got with, watching her was one of my favorite parts of the movie. So, how about an AI plot summary? This week we asked the AI to give I believe I phrased it, bored and annoyed plot summary of Superfast, and as always I always ask the AI to do as many puns as it feels comfortable. And a quarter mile tradition is we always have our guest read the plot summary. So Joe, the floor is yours.
I feel like my board voice is going to kind of sound like the main himbo in the movie.
Love it.
All right, buckle up for a ride through Superfast, a movie so riveting it might just put you to sleep faster than a lullaby on NyQuil. This parody of the Fast and Furious franchise is like a car running on empty. It's got the engine, but it's severely lacking in horsepower. From the get-go, Superfast revs up with a plot that's shakier than a jalopy on a bumpy road. It's a spoof that tries to take the Fast and Furious formula and inject it with humor, but ends up with more flat tires than punchlines. The storyline is as predictable as morning traffic. Get ready for street racing, impossible heists, and a lot of missed opportunities for genuine laughs. Man, this AI is brutal.
She is having a hard time with this.
The characters are as two-dimensional as cardboard cutouts, mimicking their Fast and Furious counterparts with all the charm of a parking cone. We've got our dollar store Vin Diesel, who must have taken charisma lessons from a brick wall. His sidekick, the wannabe Paul Walker, has the emotional depth of a kiddie pool. And let's not forget the supporting cast, who seem like they're doing community service instead of acting. The humor in Superfast is like an old transmission, clunky and outdated. The jokes are so forced, they make dad jokes look sophisticated. I found myself cringing more than laughing as punchlines landed with all the grace of a tire blowout. Imagine watching a comedian bomb on stage.
We don't have to imagine.
I don't need to imagine. Lived it. While being trapped in a slow-motion car chase. Painful and interminable. That does sound like your stand-up some days. Special effects, more like not so special effects. The action scenes are shot with all the finesse of a teenager's homemade YouTube video. Those kids are pretty outside these days. Explosions that look like they came from a 1990s video game, and car chases that defy both physics and the limits of my patience. Watching Superfast is like taking a joyride in a car with no brakes. It starts off with a sense of misguided excitement, but quickly devolves into chaos and regret. If you're looking for high-octane action and laughter, you'd be better off rewatching actual Fast and Furious movies.
Agreed.
But if you're into movies that leave you feeling like you wasted a perfectly good hour and a half, then Superfast might just be your speed. All right. I think that's it.
I feel like the AI said everything that it needs to say. Like it's fun that you can make it have whatever tone you want. And I like to do different ones. If we just always had bright, peppy tones for the AI, those would get boring.
I agree with that.
I do feel like the AI missed an opportunity to give a shout out to the musical sequence, though.
That's true. It didn't mention that one bit.
It wasn't all bad. Like, the musical sequence, I feel like, was like a fun, moment. Yeah, like every movie needs, a dance off.
It was, when
I just like the part when he said, "Follow my lead."
Yeah,
absolutely. Or like as soon as they were like, "You all need to audition," in my head I was like, "They're not gonna start." And
yes,
they did.
Yeah.
I love that. So
that's how it goes.
That's it. What if that's actually what if that's the most factual thing about the movie? No, that's actually how they get into underground street racing.
That's exactly.
You have to do a musical thing.
I don't know. I thought that it was like a funny script. Like when he first drives up and he's like, "Excuse me, I'm looking for the illegal car racing." I'm like, right. I don't know. I mean, this is so stupid. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the point. That's the thing is, so we're gonna get into our fast fan feedback and we're gonna read people's responses. But what a lot of people would write was like, "Ugh, what a dumb movie." It's like, did you not think it was gonna be a dumb movie? Like, if you go into this thinking it's gonna have a plot, it's on you.
Like dumb as promised.
Yeah. So here's some fast fan feedback. We always ask, before we do every movie, we ask just what do people think, what are their thoughts, do they like it, do they like how it connects with Fast and Furious. Our main source of feedback is often the wonderful and nice people from Reddit. Honestly, especially with this movie, we got a lot of good and positive feedback from Reddit. Next week when we talk about the Italian Job, I'll have a different story entirely, because I thought I might have almost got canceled by alluding references of Fast and Furious and the Italian Job. It got brutal. But hey guys, tune in next week for that story. Here we are. This was fast fan feedback for Superfast. So JSmoke814 says it should be canon to Fast and Furious. And I remember responding to that, look, give them time. They're about 2 movies away from incorporating the Superfast. I think that would be fun if those guys came in for a heist or something in the actual Fast and Furious. CFT Chef said it was funny. I enjoyed it, and I'm not going to rewatch it a dozen of times. Mm-hmm. I feel that honestly. I watched it once a while ago and thought it was really funny, and then when I saw it this time, I was like, it's funny. So, but then again, maybe I watched it before with friends. Maybe that was my problem.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it by myself this time. Nora Adams says, I loved this movie. You can feel the love of the writers and the actors for the franchise. It's pitch perfect. That's a different movie. If you like Superfast, you would love the musical parody that is currently playing in Los Angeles. I had to wait 3 years to see it, but it was worth the wait. Now I remember why I put this comment. I have beef with this musical parody. I wanted to see this musical parody so much. I wanted to have it on one of the episodes of our season 2. I wrote to the writers. I emailed people. I went to the websites. I checked it, and no one responded. Like that, and with CJ as my new co-host, Miss Musical Actress, I was like, this is the perfect person to review a musical parody of Fast and Furious, and they never got back to me. Bastards. If you're listening to this, please let us review your musical parody.
The commenter referenced Pitch Perfect probably because they had the Cup song in the
They did. I forgot about that. They did. That was good job. nor Adam.
Yeah.
Silkless says, I love this movie. Woke up my girlfriend a few times because I lost my shit laughing. Is that not a funny mental image?
I love that she fell dead asleep immediately starting the movie.
And he's like, no. You watch this with me.
You're missing this golden dialogue.
Plot twist, this is the guy that went on a date with Tip Jar Nash.
Yeah.
So this is like years later, he found his woman and he watches Superfast with her, but she can't stay awake for it. But he laughs so hard, she wakes him up. This was from Any Tomatillo 1323. I wish they'd make another one now with the world building that would make it so much more preposterous. The first movies are so tame compared to what we have now. I think they should make another parody super fast movie, and they should call it like Too Super, Too Fast, and it should do 6 to 10. I would be up for that.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think, when is the last time you've seen a good parody?
I think like so this was in 2015. That was like the era of parody movies, and then this one was apparently so bad the company stopped doing them.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like, like SNL and then like a lot of like TikTok parody accounts and stuff, but I haven't seen like a full feature film that's a parody in a long time.
Yeah, I wonder what the last one was. Like, we don't get them that often.
I would love a West Wing one, but that's besides the point.
The West Wing one. What a throwback. But you're right, that would be a great one. That would be fantastic.
Let's look that up. That's a good thing to look up too, because I was just looking up the cast, but...
Yeah, are you looking up a West Wing parody, or are you looking
No, just parodies of movies.
Yeah,
like,
most recent one. I don't know the recent one. And then this last comment, I just had to share because I thought it was dumb. This person in the Reddit Fast and Furious thread wrote, never even seen one Fast and Furious movie.
Oh.
It's like, well, why are you
here?
Right, absolutely. So, yeah.
How did you find yourself in this comment space?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope they're listening to this podcast. I feel is equally lost. But anyway.
I hope they're watching right now and also commenting on...
Right?
And if you are, please comment your vote on our poll as you rage comment us. I don't even like watching movies with cars. Why are you...
I hate
podcasts too. Well, that was their opinions of Superfast. Now I'm interested in hearing our opinions. So does anyone have any glaring things that they want to... I had a few thoughts, but I'd like to open it up if you all have any thoughts and prayers.
I don't have any prayers, but I do have some thoughts. But you go ahead and open it up, because I want to. You
want to find out what the most recent parody movie is. So, okay, so the first thought I had was I already referenced this first thought was I thought the Michelle it was Michelle. All the lesbian jokes. That was the low point for me for the movie.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It was maybe if it was referenced once and then at the end, it would be cool. Or maybe but it was like that was her entire character.
Yeah, it felt like lazy writing and like her character was not very developed compared to maybe some other characters.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah. And the character of Letty that she was parodying, there's so much in that character that they could have done with. I'm not the writer, I couldn't tell you what to make funny out of it, but that is debatably the only good female Fast and Furious character up until maybe 8. But that hadn't existed at the time of this movie. So, whereas I thought Michelle was the weakest part of the movie, I thought the actors that played the Rock parody and the actors that played the Vin Diesel parody were by far the best. And so my question was, which one did you find better, the Rock parody or Vin Diesel parody? Vin Sorrento or Rock Johnson?
I kind of liked Vin because I feel like he was sort of like the person who kept the story moving forward.
Absolutely, that's true.
And I feel like he was supportive of the himbo.
Yeah.
Even though he was dumber than a box of rocks.
Right, so he had no idea. But he was very at the end, he wasn't upset. Although in typical Dominic Toretto fashion, he could care less that his woman left at the end.
I was honestly more... And it could be because, I'm silly. Like, that character moved. Sorrento moved, but The Rock's character stuck out to me so much.
Right.
Because it was just such an absurd. Like, I'm sure Dwayne Johnson was like, I can really
Right.
I would venture to guess he has not seen this movie.
Oh, I think he has because he has such a good sense of humor.
I hope he has. If not, someone.
He's just a man who has a good sense of humor.
Listen, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, if you're listening to this podcast and you haven't seen Superfast, which makes this a really weird episode that you're listening to, you really need to go see that movie. So between the two of them, I laughed more at The Rock's parody. Although I do really agree with what you're saying, Joe, as well. But the Rock's character, like, he had the weird over the top look down, like and by look I mean like his face moving around and being oddly alert. And I loved that they paired him with the other cop who was like, she was like this actual serious cop in it, and so it just made everything he did so much stupider, and it was funny to me.
I have to agree with that. A million ways. When did this movie come out?
2015.
2015.
Okay, no. Keep going.
Okay, we'll figure out what the most recent parody movie was. It might.
That might have
It must have been like Scary Movie or something.
Scary Movie came out before that.
Now, what about because isn't there like 600 scary movies? Like, isn't there like Scary Movie 2, 3, 4, maybe I don't know.
Scary Movie started coming out in 2000. And the last, you know what? I'm lying to you. They're about to do another Scary Movie.
There we go. They're bringing it back.
What's scary? If this will be. I literally think I just read that they're about to do another scary. I'm gonna look that up too.
Scary Movie 407. Got it. Seriously, those movies keep coming. They're no Fast and Furious, but it's weird that if I'm getting onto a series about that feels a little hypocritical. If I'm getting onto a series about having too many movies. So the question I had for all of us was, which part of the movie or which joke made you laugh the most?
Let's see, which part of the movie?
If you had to pick the favorite joke or funny part. I'll tell you mine while you guys are thinking of yours. I feel like there's funnier parts in the movie, but this one got me chuckling so much when they kept killing the guy before he gave them all this information.
You know, I have to say that probably was my favorite part when he was like, "But I'm not done. Let me tell you before you." And he was like, "I'm sorry, I have a bad temper."
Yeah, and really, I liked the dynamic between the main villain and his henchmen too. Like when they're in their car and they're working out their trust issues, the temperature and but I think even though I said earlier in this episode that I don't really laugh at the beginning of that scene where he was killing the informant, I did let an audible laugh out on that one. So.
I think I had two. So the musical number, but specifically when he started doing the Macarena.
Yes.
I was like, absolutely. If you're ever in a dance battle and you don't know what to do the Macarena. It'll carry you through. The second part was because this was just like such like a trope when they're driving the car and he's with the love interest. And then they just start like making out like in the car while the car is like driving. I was like, for whatever reason, I was like, that is so typical of these movies. Like, this would never happen in real life. You would Tokyo drift into a wall.
Absolutely.
Like,
but in that movie, and it also makes fun of the insane things they do in the Fast and Furious movies while they're in the car. Like to the point where they're having full-on conversations with each other while they're in different cars speeding down, and no one's ever been like, how are they hearing each other? Or like when last week when we were reviewing Los Bandoleros, and we were like, she's just straight up like making out with him, blocking everything. So.
One of my other little quirky parts was I don't know why, because I do love guns, but when they were having the shootout and when they stopped shooting and they were like, "Bye."
Yeah. I thought that was so funny. I
thought that was so cute. I was like, that would never happen. Oh, we're done? Okay.
That was a nice touch. Or the ridiculousness of that whole action scene where they're just shooting and not hitting. Like they're like is over the top. And they did frequently play off of the whole like Vin Diesel seems to never get hurt in these movies.
Oh yeah,
and so like to the point where he's catching bullets with his teeth and stuff like that. The last thing I was gonna say was I did like that this one parodied movies 1, 4, and 5 very well.
Mm-hmm.
I was a little bummed that there wasn't enough from Tokyo Drift, and good lord, Too Fast, Too Furious is ripe for a parody. Like, that is the most comically dumb movie ever, and I would have liked to see more of that. I don't know if you guys are into Fast and Furious enough where you remember how dumb Too Fast, Too Furious was, but it was a movie.
Yeah, it felt like it was a good like parody of the genre as a whole, and then also like parody of culture at that time. Like even like the portrayal of women felt very like the man show, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, but
I love the drugs in it. The whole this is
Right.
like it like there it was no drugs, but there were drugs and guns and all about money, which is so weird.
Right, or sometimes they just had a box that said, "This is the drugs."
yeah.
I love it. All right, so well, I guess I should share some super fast trivia. I just have three things.
Okay.
First of all, this movie was actually temporarily suspended when news was given about Fast and Furious actor Paul Walker's death. But this movie was released on the same day as Furious 7. And honestly, maybe that's why I didn't do so well, because that movie was setting records for how much money it was making. And I'm like, who are things?
Yeah.
That'd be a fun movie night to like go see Furious 7 and then just slide over and go see Superfast.
I
Yeah.
thought it was that's good.
So, and then one of the things we already said, J.J. Sora, who played Caesar, he was also in Fast and Furious 5. So, actually, I'm incorrect. I thought he was in Fast and Furious 5, but it turns out he was just a drug runner in the 4th Fast and Furious. So,
No one is just a drug runner.
Exactly.
no, he was just a minor drug runner.
No, you're not just a drug runner. If you're out here listening, you're not.
No, you are
have
running.
value
You're running
beyond
those drugs.
your
and
drugs.
You're
You're
doing,
so much more.
You're
helping the economy, so
yeah. Keep running those drugs.
someone else will do it if you don't. You know?
Right. And you have a family to take care of.
Hello?
Okay, and then the last fun fact is Dal Pavinsky, who played Vin Cerretto, or Dom Cerretto, he also starred in The Last Ride as a villain named Dom. So this is like his, at least the second time being a Dom character. It's time for our movie rating, guys. Too Fast, Too Furious movie ratings. Too Fast as you loved it, your life is enhanced because of it. Fast as you liked it. Furious is either you didn't care about it, didn't like it, whatever. And then Too Furious is straight up your life is worse because you've seen this movie.
Okay, well, I am going to let our esteemed guest go
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a fast for commitment to the bit.
Okay.
But like the Redditor commenter, I don't think that I will see it dozens of times. I think once or twice.
Yeah, okay.
But you know what? It was a good time at the theater. They really spent some time on that script, and I appreciate that.
They spent $20 million.
They
that is no joke.
Hat tip to the writers of the screenplay for Superfast.
Right, absolutely.
I am going to go with Too Fast.
Ooh.
Loved it.
Okay, wow.
Loved it. It made me feel good. It just, I don't know, it took me back.
Yeah?
I've never saw it, so I was like, you know what, I needed to see something dumb. So that took me back. So I honestly would watch it again just to have a good dumb laugh.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
A big old chuckle, yeah.
Good chuckle never hurt anybody.
Yeah, no worries. I'm gonna be different than you guys. Because I thought about giving it a fast, but I feel like if I'm always giving every movie a fast, it just doesn't. I need to be a little bit more critical in my own views. So I'm gonna give it Furious, in that not that I didn't like it, I just like okayed it.
Yeah.
Like it was fine. I remember seeing it once and thinking it was like kind of funny, but really parody movies aren't really my thing. I like the better movie, like the real movies better is what I would say.
Okay.
So yeah, but like. So when it's not that I thought it was bad. I'm not giving it a Too Furious. It was good for like a one watch. And then this time was my second watch. So I was like, oh, okay. So
we're all different. I like that.
Yeah.
We all gave different opinions, different views of it.
yeah,
I like that.
cool.
I like that.
So CJ, now we're at your best bits. And it's your turn. So what do you got for us?
Okay, so you got to guess out of these three, right? Or these two?
Yes. Yeah, three.
Okay.
Good.
So let's see.
Do you have a particular category we're going for, or is part of the game is she could just not tell us the category and we still have to figure it out?
No, the category is which one did I laugh hardest at the most?
Okay.
When he first walked in and his pants fell down because he was trying to be hardcore like the white guy.
That was good. That was fun.
The part where they started a distraction with the money and the money throwing up.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Very theatrical.
very theatrical.
Wait, what happened? What was
It
that?
was a distraction when she caused a distraction.
Was it all the naked women?
All the
Okay.
You probably didn't see the money. You just saw the ladies.
I did.
You just saw the lady. Exactly. That's why it was funny.
There we go. Okay, go.
Are you really like she did good too, shit. Or did I laugh hardest at the baby oil?
Okay.
Where he couldn't get a hold of the baby oil.
So, reminder for everyone: we're currently 3-2 is our score. I'm currently in the lead. If me and Joe if we guess correctly, I get a point, and then if we don't guess correctly, CJ gets a point. So, or if we both guess correctly, I get 2 points or whatever. So no pressure, Joe, but I do want to win. So
whatever.
So do you want to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll guess the baby oil.
I'm also going to guess the baby oil.
Ooh, you both are wrong. I laughed hardest at the fact that he pulled his pants.
Okay, I mean I was torn between those two. I didn't think it was the naked women scene.
No, I just wanted to throw that in there to throw you off.
Yeah. Okay.
But that was funny to me because he was just like, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. This is it. And I honestly chuckled at that. Like, the fact that his whole pants.
He's trying to be so hard.
He was trying to be, I don't know why,
Yeah.
but that was a chuckle for me.
I liked that because, like, I do remember when, like, low riding and sagging.
Yeah.
That was, like, and, like, I remember white guys doing that to look cool. Like, like I went to school with basically all white guys, like, high school, like, it was all white guys, and there were so many saggy pants.
Like, showing the
the do-rags and that was like MTV rap videos. That was like that was what we were seeing, and it was like suburbs, Brentwood, Tennessee. Like that was our look.
I don't know why that tickled me, but I was just like, why is he doing that? Stop.
I love that the scene. Oh wait, no, that's not the scene we picked.
Which one?
I was going to make fun of the fact that we were talking more about the scene you didn't pick, but that was the scene you picked. I will take this loss with dignity.
3-3 now. Look at that.
I mean, technically it's 4 on you and 3 on me because
that's
both me and Joe are wrong. But if you want to make it 3-3,
no, 4 on me, 3 on you.
Today we have another amazing quarter mile spotlight to you, Samira Hardcastle, and she is a wonderful artist. So her brand is Artwork by Samira. It is Nashville-based visual artist who creates custom paintings, digital arts, and murals for people, business, and celebrities. She's incredibly talented, and you can check her out on Instagram at Artwork by Samira, and then website artworkbysamira.com. She's very good, a lot of cool things. We'll have some pictures going up on YouTube, or just go check out her channels. And when asked about her upcoming projects, she said, I have a women's mental health coloring book available on Amazon, and all you have to do is search Artwork by Samira. And much to our dismay, she has never seen any Fast and Furious movies, which is okay, because she's incredibly talented and her art makes up for it. That's the rule, is if you haven't seen any Fast and Furious, yeah, very talented and really cool artwork, so check her out.
Awesome, yeah.
Well, next week we're going to be covering The Italian Job, which is a very different movie from this week. We do hope you guys come and join us and check that movie out. Watch it before, and then we can talk about it, and you can be more in the know. We are all over social media and the internet, The Quarter Mile Podcast and most things. Quarter Mile Podcast on TikTok, because they hate us when we first came out, so we had to get a different name. And, everyone just have a great life.
Oh, I do have something to say before we leave, just in case, because I know he's not the biggest parody person, but I am. There is a Scary Movie 6.
6, all right.
It is 6.
Oh.
They're slated to begin working late June 2025, and it's coming out 2026.
Love it.
And so the fun fact about the scary movies, which I think we should, because they spoofed starting from the first scary movie all the way now, all the different genres of movies.
Yeah,
They always put in something different. So
Oh, you know what my favorite is? Repossessed, which was a parody of The Exorcist.
Sis, yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. So like Spaceballs was a parody.
Yeah, that was a great. Okay,
Oh,
there has
yeah,
been a lot.
So there have been, so
Yeah,
it's been, it's like over 50 different. So
Yeah.
it's a genre of parody.
Someone should start a podcast and just parody movies.
I think we should do that in the next season. Yeah, definitely make sure you check us out next week because the Italian job is no, I was going to say do French. It's bien. It's bien. It's bon. It's bien.
Yes, it's bien. Y'all come back and watch the challenge job.
Y'all come back here.
Have a great time. Thank you so much, Joe.
Thank
Joe,
you.
before we go, where can we follow you? What can we see you do? Tell us.
Find me at Sloppy Joe Productions on Instagram and other socials for a sloppy good time.
Love
All
it.
right,
Get
thanks,
sloppy,
y'all.
have a great life.
Bye.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Bye.